Have you ever felt like you're just constantly on, you know, running on fumes, maybe feeling overwhelmed, even when there's no, like, obvious reason for it?
Mm,
It's that kind of background hum of anxiety, right? Like you're always waiting for something.
absolutely, that feeling of bracing yourself.
Yes. Well, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely in the right place today. We're doing a deep dive into a really insightful book by Dr. Michael Housman. It's called Beyond Survival: The Connection Between Fight or Flight and Chronic Illness.
Hmm.
And our mission today, it isn't just to understand how this whole fight or flight thing impacts us, though we'll definitely cover that. It's more about pulling out tangible strategies, real things you can do based on Dr. Hausman's work to shift from just surviving to, well, actually thriving.
And it helps to know where Dr. Helsman is coming from because his journey into this, it's really personal. It grounds the whole discussion, I think.
Oh,
Nearly 50 years ago, he was a pre-med student, under intense pressure, academics, everything. And he started having severe anxiety, couldn't sleep, even weird body temperature things.
wow.
And the standard advice back then, medication, which just made him feel worse, actually.
Hmm.
His turning point, his breakthrough, came from seeing a chiropractor and a nutritionist. Holistic care. And within weeks, huge improvement.
Really? Weeks.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that experience, that personal healing, it really shaped his entire 45-year practice. His focus has always been on root causes,
Mm.
not just slapping a bandage on symptoms. And that's the foundation for everything we're talking about today.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So let's unpack this fight or flight response. I mean, we kind of know the basics, right? But Dr. Hausman really digs into how it shows up now in modern life.
Right.
It's still that automatic reaction to a threat, getting ready to fight or run away. But the twist is, it's not just lions and tigers anymore.
Exactly. It's work deadlines,
Mhm.
financial stress,
Mm.
arguments, even just like negative self-talk looping in your head.
Your body's getting ready to battle a spreadsheet.
Pretty much.
Ah.
Your body doesn't really differentiate. A stressor is a stressor. So it hits the gas pedal, the sympathetic nervous system, the SNS,
Okay.
and that triggers this whole hormonal cascade. You get adrenaline, cortisol, flooding your system from your adrenal glands.
Adrenaline and cortisol,
Yeah.
right. We hear about those.
Yeah. And physically, pupils dilate, blood rushes to your muscles and brain away from, say, digestion, heart rate, blood pressure. They shoot up. You get this instant energy surge.
Mm-mm.
Dr. Hausman even mentions things like excessive sweating, hyperhidrosis. Sometimes that's a sign your system's kind of stuck on.
Sick on. That sounds exhausting. So what's the off switch? What does this mean for us if it's always engaged?
Well, that's the crucial part. Thankfully, we do have an off switch, or maybe more like a brake system. It's the parasympathetic nervous system, the PNS.
CNS, okay.
And the vagus nerve is a huge player here. It's what tells your body, okay, coast is clear, brings you back to that calm state, rest and digest, slows the heart rate, breathing, all that.
Got it. So it's about balance between the gas and the brake.
Exactly. Balance is key.
Yeah.
Because the long-term cost, if you're stuck with the gas pedal floored, it's significant. You're constantly ready for danger, even when there isn't any. That burns through your energy reserves. You feel exhausted.
Makes sense.
But it's more than just feeling tired. Brain research actually shows prolonged stress can physically shrink a part of your brain called the hippocampus.
Shrink it. Really?
Yeah, and the hippocampus is vital for learning and memory. So a shrinking hippocampus that's linked to cognitive decline down the road.
Wow. Okay, so how can you, listening right now, how can you tell if you might be stuck in this loop? Because it sounds like it could be subtle sometimes.
It can be very subtle or it can be overwhelming. Dr. Hausman talks about this state called hypervigilance.
Hypervigilance.
Yeah, it's like being on high alert constantly, feeling like something bad is about to happen, always scanning for threats, even subconsciously.
Yeah.
That feeling of impending doom he mentions.
Okay, I think some people will recognize that feeling.
Definitely. And it shows up in different ways. Emotionally, maybe constant anxiety,
Mhm.
feeling irritable, snapping easily,
Okay.
or sometimes the opposite, emotional numbness, detachment. It's like a protective shield, but it can feel isolating.
Mm.
Lack of motivation is big too, just feeling like you're slogging through, merely surviving, getting caught in those negative thought loops, feeling hopeless.
And physically?
Oh, yeah. Chronic muscle tension is a classic. Shoulders, neck, legs, like your body's literally braced. That can lead to pain, headaches, fatigue, obviously. Gut issues are really common because digestion gets sidelined.
Right, the blood flow diversion.
Exactly. And even your breathing changes, becomes shallow, tense. That can actually tighten up your diaphragm.
Mhm.
And then relationally, you might see those hair trigger reactions, Arguments flare up easily, difficulty coping with just normal daily stuff.
It really paints a picture of how pervasive this can be. I read that CDC estimate stress accounting for maybe 75% of doctor visits.
Yeah.
That's huge.
It's staggering. Billions in costs. And Dr. Hausman has this really powerful way of framing it. A thought plus a feeling with an action produces a result.
Okay, break that down. Give us an example.
Sure. Think about getting cut off in traffic.
Okay.
Your immediate thought might be, what an idiot. That was dangerous.
Yeah, yep, familiar thought.
That thought instantly triggers a feeling, anger, frustration, maybe fear. Your heart pounds. That's the adrenaline.
Right.
Then comes the action, and maybe you honk aggressively, yell, tailgate,
Or worse.
or worse. And the result, you're more stressed, your blood pressure is up, maybe you escalated the situation, you've reinforced that whole stress pathway.
Okay.
Now, same situation, but maybe your thought is, whoa, okay, maybe they didn't see me, or maybe they're rushing to the hospital, something different.
Takes practice.
It does. But that thought leads to a different feeling, maybe concern or just neutral acceptance. The action is you slow down, take a breath, let it go. The result, you stay calmer, safer, and you haven't triggered that whole cascade. It starts with the thought.
That's a really clear illustration. Okay, let's shift into some of the brain chemistry behind this. How can we actually regain some control here? Dr. Housman talks about dopamine and oxytocin, right?
Yes, two really key players. Oxytocin, people often call it the love hormone, from hugs and bonding.
Right.
But its role is deeper. It actually helps quiet down the amygdala, that's your brain's fear center, the alarm system. And it activates the PNS, the brake pedal we talked about.
Ah, interesting.
So it helps bring you back to rest and digest, keeps cortisol lower, promotes connection. There's a funny quirk, though. It can apparently heighten aggression if you're defending someone you care about.
Huh. Okay, protective love hormone then, and dopamine.
Dopamine is usually known as the reward chemical. Finish a task, feel good. That's dopamine.
Right.
But Dr. Hausman highlights its role in focus, strategy, motivation. It can even make stressful situations feel kind of exciting or challenging rather than just threatening. Think extreme sports, high-pressure jobs.
Ah, so that's why some people seem to thrive on stress.
To a point. There's a real risk of dopamine burnout. If the stress is chronic and relentless, your system just gets depleted.
So Hausman sees these two working together, like a team.
Exactly, like a tag team. Oxytocin provides the calm, the safety signal, preventing total panic. Dopamine gives you the focus and drive to actually do something constructive about the stressor instead of just freezing or freaking out.
That's a really elegant system when it works, right?
It really is. Think about that case study Dr. Hausman shares, Mary.
Right. Tell us about her.
She came to him totally frayed. Insomnia, nightmares, sweating, chronic fatigue, just classic signs of being stuck in overdrive. It turned out she was in an abusive relationship.
Oh, wow.
Her lab work showed sky-high cortisol, adrenals working overtime. So his approach wasn't just one thing, it was holistic. Natural anti-inflammatories, supplements to support her adrenals, chiropractic adjustments, acupuncture for energy balance.
A whole toolkit.
Yeah, and importantly, things like positive visualization, guided tapes to help reprogram her thoughts. And within a month, she reported significant changes. Pain lessened, cortisol started normalizing, digestion improved, more energy.
That's incredible. A month.
It shows that when you address the root causes, the hormones, the nervous system, and the mental state, you can see real shifts.
Okay, that's really hopeful. So for you listening right now, what are some immediate practical things you can start doing, like right now?
Okay, probably the most accessible tool is your breath. Simple breathing exercises. When we're stressed, we tend to hold our breath or breathe really shallowly up in the chest.
Guilty.
We all do it. So consciously practicing deep abdominal breathing, breathing in through your nose, letting your belly expand, then slowly out through your mouth, that directly signals safety to your nervous system.
Just focusing on the belly rising and falling.
Exactly. Dr. Hausman often suggests the 4-7-8 method. It's simple. Inhale for a count of 4, hold gently for 7, and exhale slowly for 8.
In 4, hold 7 out 8. Got it.
That rhythm is very calming. Another great one is progressive muscle relaxation, PMR.
PMR.
Yeah, you systematically tense. Then release different muscle groups, like clench your fist tight for 5 seconds, then release, and notice the difference. You work through your whole body. It makes you incredibly aware of where you hold tension.
Ah, I can see how that would work. Builds awareness.
It really does. And don't underestimate practical things like time management. Feeling overwhelmed feeds the beast, right?
Definitely.
So prioritizing tasks, Dr. Hausman uses a simple TTD, Things to-do list marks the must-dos, lets the rest be flexible. Breaking big tasks down. Scheduling short breaks, it prevents that feeling of drowning.
Simple but effective. Okay, those are great physical and practical tools. What about the mental side? Dr. Hausman talks a lot about mindfulness, right?
Yes, mindfulness is huge in his approach.
Hmm.
At its core, it's about paying attention to the present moment on purpose without judging what you find.
Without judgment. That sounds like the hard part.
It can be,
Right.
but the practice trains you to just observe your thoughts, feelings, body sensations without getting carried away by them.
Huh.
You learn to recognize those early whispers of stress before they become a shout.
And that helps how?
Research shows it can actually lower cortisol levels, it improves emotional regulation, you're less reactive, and you get better at listening to your body's signals.
So, what does mindfulness practice actually look like? Is it sitting on a cushion for an hour?
It can be, but it doesn't have to be. Focused breathing is a simple form, just paying attention to the feeling of air entering and leaving your body. A body scan is another one, mentally checking in with different parts of your body, noticing sensations without trying to change them. Guided imagery, picturing a peaceful place, that works too.
Okay. How can you bring that into a busy day, though, if you don't have time for a formal session?
Great question.
Mm.
You can practice mindful breathing for just a minute or two, anytime, anywhere. Waiting in line, at your desk, just take 3 conscious breaths. That's a mini reset.
3 breaths, manageable.
Totally. Or try engaging your senses more fully during everyday activities. Really taste your coffee. Really feel the water in the shower. Really notice the sounds around you when you're walking. It anchors you in the present.
Mindful coffee drinking. I like it.
Even mindful eating, slowing down, savoring flavors, noticing when you're full. Or mindful exercise, focusing on your body's movements instead of your to-do list. It's about weaving presence into what you're already doing.
That makes it feel much more achievable. Now, something you mentioned earlier, how this stress affects our relationships. It doesn't just stay inside us, does it?
Not at all. It absolutely ripples outward. When you're stuck in fight or flight, your primary focus is survival,
Yeah.
right? Not thoughtful communication.
Yeah. Hard to be empathetic when you feel attacked.
Exactly.
Right.
So you might become defensive, withdrawn, maybe even aggressive without meaning to. Effective communication just plummets.
So what helps there?
Dr. Hausman stresses active listening, really trying to understand the other person's perspective, and then checking if you got it right. Like say, okay, so what I'm hearing you say is X. Is that right?
Pausing to confirm understanding.
Yes. It prevents so many misunderstandings. And using I statements. Instead of, you always make me feel stressed, try, I feel stressed when Y happens. It takes the blame out and focuses on your experience.
Shifts from accusation to sharing. Okay. And then there's the idea of triggers. Recognizing what sets you off personally. That seems critical.
It's absolutely crucial. Because often our reactions feel automatic, but there's usually a specific trigger igniting that fight or flight alarm.
How do you figure out what yours are?
Self-reflection is key. Keeping a journal can be incredibly helpful here. When you feel that surge of anxiety or anger, jot down what was happening right before. The situation, who was there, what was said, maybe even smells or sounds.
Looking for patterns.
Exactly. Patterns will start to emerge. And Dr. Hausman makes an important point about past trauma. Sometimes, a situation in the present, even a small one, can unconsciously echo an old wound.
Ah, so the reaction seems way bigger than the current event warrants.
Precisely. It's like a hair trigger because of that past experience. Becoming aware of the physical sensations that happen when you're triggered, the racing heart, the tight chest, the clenched jaw, that awareness is the very first step to being able to consciously choose a different response. You start to recognize the alarm bell itself.
Okay, awareness is step 1. Let's talk about some foundational things Dr. Hausman emphasizes. Nutrition and exercise. How do they play into managing this fight or flight state?
They are absolutely fundamental pillars. What you eat can either fuel the fire of stress or help put it out.
Okay, give us the good stuff. What helps?
Dr. Hausman really likes omega-3s from fatty fish like salmon, walnuts, flax seeds. They're vital for brain health and mood regulation. Antioxidants are key, too, to combat the oxidative stress that comes with chronic fight or flight. So berries, leafy greens, citrus fruits.
Colorful foods.
Yes. And fermented foods, things like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, they support your gut microbiome. And there's a huge gut-brain connection. An unhappy gut often means an unhappy brain and more stress.
Right, the gut-brain axis. We hear more about that now.
Definitely. Hydration is basic but crucial. Calming herbal teas can help too. The big takeaway is focusing on whole, unprocessed foods. Highly processed stuff, refined sugars, excess carbs. Dr. Hausman says they just add fuel to the inflammation.
Fueling inflammation. Got it. What about supplements?
He does discuss some, always with the caveat to check with your own provider, of course.
Mhm.
Adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha or rhodiola can help balance the adrenal glands, kind of buffer the stress response. Magnesium is often mentioned for calming the nervous system.
Okay. And you mentioned blood sugar earlier, too. How does that connect?
Big connection. Cortisol, that main stress hormone, actually tells your liver to release more glucose into your bloodstream to give you energy to fight or flee.
Ah, instant energy.
Right. But if that's happening constantly because you're chronically stressed, it can lead to insulin resistance. Your cells stop responding properly to insulin. That's a path towards type 2 diabetes. And it also promotes storing fat, especially that dangerous visceral fat around your organs.
Wow. So managing blood sugar is key for managing stress response, too.
Absolutely. He often recommends dietary approaches like the Mediterranean diet or a well-formulated keto-style diet for that reason. Even just planning meals can reduce stress. It gives you a sense of control and predictability.
Okay, that covers nutrition. What about exercise? How does moving our bodies help?
Exercise is like a magic bullet for stress in many ways. It helps regulate those stress hormones, especially cortisol. It releases endorphins, which are natural mood boosters.
Runner's high.
That's part of it. It improves sleep quality, which is often disrupted by stress. And it can provide social interaction, another stress buffer.
So what kind of exercise is best?
He recommends a mix. Aerobic exercise, walking, running, cycling, great for clearing your head, burning off stress energy. Strength training can be really empowering, giving you a sense of control.
I like that idea of empowerment.
Yeah. And mind-body exercises like yoga or Tai Chi are fantastic because they directly work on calming the nervous system, improving flexibility, and enhancing that body awareness we talked about. Even short bursts of high-intensity interval training, HIIT, can be great for releasing pent-up energy.
So find something you like and mix it up.
Pretty much. Start small, be consistent, integrate movement snacks throughout your day, and try doing it mindfully, focusing on your breath and body, not just going through the motions. That doubles the benefit.
This is all starting to connect. It's not just about feeling stressed, is it? Dr. Housman draws a really strong line between being stuck in fight or flight and developing actual chronic illnesses.
Yes, that's a central theme in his work. It's not just a feeling. It's a physiological state that, over time, can contribute significantly to major health problems.
Like what specifically?
Well, heart disease, for one. That constant state of elevated heart rate, high blood pressure, plus the inflammation that stress generates in artery walls. It creates the perfect storm for blockages.
Okay.
Type 2 diabetes, we touched on that with the insulin resistance driven by chronic cortisol elevation. Your body just gets overwhelmed trying to manage blood sugar constantly.
Right.
And autoimmune disorders. Chronic stress can mess with your immune system. It might suppress it initially, making you more vulnerable. But long-term, it often fuels the inflammation that drives autoimmune conditions. He often calls chronic illness disease, literally, a lack of ease or harmony in the body caused by this prolonged imbalance.
Disease. That's a powerful reframe. So if the state contributes to these problems, how do we build resilience? How do we prevent this or pull ourselves back?
Building resilience involves lawyering these strategies we've been talking about. Cultivating awareness of your triggers is foundational, maybe through that journaling. Developing effective coping mechanisms you can rely on, deep breathing, ways to quiet your mind.
The practical tools.
Exactly. And then those pillars. Prioritizing nutrient-dense food, getting regular physical activity, and really importantly, building and nurturing strong social connections. Having support makes a massive difference.
That brings up something important. What about really severe cases, like PTSD? How does that fit into this picture?
Dr. Housman puts it very directly. PTSD is being stuck in fight or flight. It's the nervous system locked in that high alert state due to overwhelming trauma.
Locked in.
Yeah. Neurologically, you see changes. That hippocampus shrinkage we mentioned is common in PTSD, affecting memory. The amygdala, the fear center, can become hyperactive. Communication between the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex, which helps regulate responses, gets disrupted.
So the brain physically changes.
It does. And those stress hormones, cortisol and norepinephrine, are chronically elevated, which further impacts brain function and even increases the long-term risk for dementia.
Wow. And the connection to addiction.
That's often linked through what's called the self-medication hypothesis. Individuals might unconsciously turn to substances or certain behaviors to try and numb the intense distress, anxiety, flashbacks, or insomnia that come with PTSD. It's a coping mechanism, albeit a destructive one.
So how do you treat something that profound?
The approach needs to be holistic, addressing the whole person, nutritional support to heal the body and brain, mindfulness and meditation to calm the nervous system, gentle movement like yoga or tai chi, therapies that bypass verbal processing sometimes, like art or music therapy, even things like acupuncture. It's about restoring balance on all levels.
Treating the whole person. Okay, let's talk about some other tools Dr. Housman suggests, maybe ones that are a bit less common but potentially really powerful for resetting things.
Yes, he delves into some fascinating areas. One is grounding, or sometimes called earthing.
Grounding, like connecting with the ground.
Literally, direct physical contact with the surface of the earth, walking barefoot on grass, soil, sand. The idea is that the earth has a natural negative electrical charge, and our bodies build up positive charge, especially with inflammation and stress.
Okay.
Connecting with the earth allows for a transfer of free electrons, which act like antioxidants in the body, helping to reduce inflammation. People report better sleep, less pain, improved mood. It seems to help shift the nervous system back towards that calm, rest and digest state,
So kick off your shoes more often.
basically. Or you can use grounding mats or sheets indoors that connect to the ground port of an outlet. Just a safety note, avoid using them during electrical storms.
Good tip. Okay, what else?
The vagus nerve reset. We keep coming back to the vagus nerve, that superhighway of the parasympathetic nervous system, our internal brake.
Right, super important.
When it loses its tone from chronic stress, you get symptoms like digestive upset, mood issues, brain fog, but you can actively stimulate it to improve its function.
How do you do that?
Simple things work. Cold exposure is one splashing cold water on your face, ending your shower with a cold blast. That stimulates the vagus nerve.
Ugh. Good oak.
Singing, humming, gargling, these activities vibrate the vocal cords, which are connected to the vagus nerve. Deep, slow breathing, like the 4-7-8, is also vagal toning. Even gentle massage behind the ears or lightly pulling on your earlobes can help.
Interesting, simple techniques. What about more energetic approaches? He mentions chakras.
Yes, he incorporates energetic body balancing. He views the body not just physically, but as an energy system. Stress creates blockages or imbalances in this energy flow, sometimes called ki. Practices like Reiki aim to clear these blockages.
Okay, and the chakras.
He connects the main energy centers, the chakras, to the stress response. For instance, the root chakra at the base of the spine relates to safety and security. Chronic fight or flight often throws this way off balance, leading to anxiety. Grounding exercises like walking barefoot help balance it.
Ah, grounding helps the root chakra. Makes sense.
The solar plexus chakra, in your stomach area, relates to personal power. Feeling powerless or overly controlling under stress can be a sign it's imbalanced. Core strengthening exercises can actually help here.
Interesting connection.
And the heart chakra, compassion, connection. Stress can make us close off. Practicing gratitude or forgiveness helps open and balance this center, which can literally lower cortisol. It's about addressing imbalance on multiple levels.
Fascinating. And finally, he really hammers home the power of mental attitude.
Oh, absolutely. He says your mental attitude quite literally sets the stage for healing. Your thoughts, your self-talk, how you perceive stress, it dramatically impacts your physiology.
So reframing stress.
Yes. Choosing to see a challenge as an opportunity for growth rather than just a threat changes everything. And his #1 tool for shifting your mental state, gratitude.
Gratitude. We hear that a lot. Why is it so powerful?
Because it actively counteracts the stress response. It lowers cortisol. It releases dopamine and serotonin feel-good neurotransmitters. It literally rewires your brain towards positivity.
How do you practice it effectively?
Keep it simple. Start your day listing 3 things you're grateful for. In a stressful moment, pause and find one small thing to appreciate. End your day with gratitude. Journaling helps.
Small, consistent actions.
Exactly. He also suggests practical mental tools like the 5-second rule if you have an impulse to act on a goal. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and physically move before your brain talks you out of it. Great for breaking inertia. Visualization 2, mentally rehearse handling stressful situations calmly. And even just changing your language. Replace I have to do this with I get to do this or I'd love to do that. It reframes obligation into opportunity.
I get to instead of I have to. Like that. Okay, so with all these factors, how can someone listening get a clearer picture of where they stand? How do you assess this chronic fight or flight state?
It's usually a combination of things. Dr. Housman emphasizes it's a group of symptoms, not one single thing you test for. But lab work can offer clues, interpreted carefully.
What kind of lab work?
A 4-point salivary cortisol test is often very revealing. It measures your cortisol levels at 4 different times a day, showing your adrenal rhythm. Are they working overtime or are they fatigued?
Ah, not just a single snapshot.
Exactly. Looking at HbA1c, your average blood sugar over months is important because of that cortisol-insulin link. And inflammatory markers like CRP can also be useful since chronic stress often drives inflammation. But again, these need context from a knowledgeable practitioner, like a functional medicine doctor.
Right, not for self-diagnosis.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
On a simpler level, symptom survey forms can be a good starting point for self-assessment. Rating symptoms like anxiety, muscle tension, sleep problems, rapid heartbeat on a scale, it gives you a baseline and helps track progress as you implement changes.
Okay, so labs for deeper insights with a pro, surveys for self-tracking. Makes sense? Wow, we have covered a lot of ground today.
We really have.
From understanding the deep roots of fight or flight, how it gets triggered constantly in modern life, the toll it takes physically and mentally, even leading to chronic illness, but also, crucially, this huge toolkit of strategies Dr. Housman offers. Breathing, mindfulness, nutrition, movement, grounding, managing our thoughts, understanding our triggers. It's a comprehensive approach.
It really is. And connecting it to the bigger picture, this isn't about eliminating stress entirely. That's impossible. It's about changing your relationship with stress. It's an ongoing journey, making small, incremental changes.
Incremental changes.
Yeah, those small steps add up. They transform how your body responds. They improve your relationships, your overall well-being. It's about choosing to meet challenges with maybe not always joy, but with a sense of capability, of eagerness, rather than just bracing for impact or feeling constantly afraid. It's about reclaiming that inner balance.
Well said. Okay, so here's your deep dive mission if you choose to accept it. Thinking about everything we've explored today, all the insights, the tools, the perspectives, consider just one small, consistent action you can take this week.
Just one.
Just want to start. Maybe it's trying that 4-7-8 bait breath a few times a day. Maybe it's starting that simple gratitude journal. Maybe it's just paying mindful attention to your physical stress signals without judgment. Or maybe taking your shoes off and standing on the grass for 5 minutes. What's the one thing that resonates most with you right now as a first step toward shifting your relationship with stress? Because remember, that fight or flight response, while powerful, it doesn't have to run the show. It doesn't have to dictate your health or your life. By understanding it, by learning to work with your nervous system, using these kinds of strategies, you really can reclaim your well-being. You can move beyond just surviving and truly start to thrive.